But if any of our panelists say anything or you want to take video, why don't everybody kind of move forward? You guys are like really far away. We're a little bit spread out. We're one big happy family here. Yeah, and if you want to do social media, the fashion track is totally rocking it out right now. So be sure to take pictures, upload on Instagram, Twitter, hashtag DSW16, specifically for the fashion track, DSW16 Fashion. And with this, I'm going to introduce our lovely panelist. We specifically put this panel together because the trend now is all about video. So I don't know if you guys are like me, you're kind of getting sick of logging into Facebook because everybody is either going live with something or there's just videos going viral. But there is a reason for that, especially in getting your brand message out as an entrepreneur. At one point in time, it was very important to just do written blog content. And so that was one of the things here in Dallas that we were pushing our bloggers is content, but in a written capacity. And over the last several years, that has changed to video. And if you're like me, I don't like being behind the camera, so now I'm completely ticked because now my brand completely depends on being in front of the camera. And I have 3 ladies here in Dallas who are completely rocking it. They are working with top-tier brands such as Head & Shoulders, ColourPop Cosmetics, interviewing the top celebrities around the world, going to Fashion Week. So with that, I want to bring on stage our first panelist, which is Miss Jaleesa of JaleesaCherice.com. What's your social media information?
My handle is Jaleesa Cherice, JaleesaCharisse.
And Jaleesa is one of probably the top college video bloggers in Dallas, and she does natural hair tips, and she works with top cosmetics company, and I first ran across Jaleesa in a fashion capacity, so she also does fashion as well, and she really knows how to make great content and grow a following. The next panelist I have is Miss Vanna Collins Cottingham. One of the most, she wants y'all to turn up, you know. But as you can see with her personality, one of the top entertainment video bloggers and bloggers here in Dallas. Vanna gets highly requested to come and attend events, interviewing top celebrities, top musicians, actors, actresses, you name it. Vanna has that kind of access. And so we're so happy to have her give her tips and tricks today. And lastly, I have Miss Vashti Patrick Joseph. She is an award-winning video blogger. When I tell you, she posts something on Facebook, we were just talking about this the other day, and I checked it within probably 24 hours, she already had 21,000 views. And I don't know what, I mean, you were just talking about your hair, and she has this thing in her videos where it's just like, and I don't know if that's the trick. Maybe that's what everybody needs to do to go viral. But this is Vashti. Vanna's also an award-winning blogger, so I'm very happy to have this panelist with us today. So don't be shy, y'all. Don't hold back.
Okay.
We want all the tips and tricks for free.
Yes.
Plus parking.
Just for today.
So I really wanted to start out, really advertisers now are pulling back from doing traditional advertising, and video bloggers are some of the highest paid bloggers in the industry. I read recently that there are certain video bloggers that are making upwards of $500,000 a year just to do the Vashti. So I really want to start out with Jaleesa because I know you had a written blog at some point in time. So what was it that made you go to the video world, and how has that had an effect on your brand? So discuss written blog content versus video.
I think I've always wanted to do YouTubing. I started out watching YouTube in about 2008, and that's when everybody who's big now really got started. So once I got to college, I'm merchandising and digital retail double major, and I decided to kind of put those skills to use through writing a blog. So I did that for about 2.5 years. Two and a half years in, I decided to go ahead and do video content because that's kind of where everybody's going. For me, I don't turn on my TV unless Empire comes on and I need to watch Empire. Like, that is like literally the only time. if you look at millennials now, like they're streaming everything. Everything is streamed. So video content is very important to advertisers, and that's kind of who they're looking to, those people who've been on YouTube to advertise, because they know people are going to listen to them. They have large audiences.
So from the switch, how much time now? Because I know we have some bloggers out here in the audience. A lot of us have editorial calendars where we make sure we're putting out X amount of written content per week. Small businesses and entrepreneurs do the same thing with their blogs. So what is your advice as far as here's how much you need to spend on written, but now that everybody's surfing through their phones and they're looking at videos, this is how much you need to spend possibly doing YouTube videos?
For me, I don't know if you have been to my blog recently, but I have kind of like stopped blogging. I write about other things now in the lifestyle area, but I do a lot of beauty videos now, and I'm finding that the engagement is better. The views are better. So if you're looking, maybe you're not as strong with your Google Analytics with blogging, it might be stronger with video just because people are going to watch it. The sharing is better. It's just, the engagement is just 100 times better.
And Vanna, I'm gonna piggyback that same question to you because you're an entertainment blogger, but you also merge in video with your platform as well. So how do you see video really helping you reach your audience and getting you the type of traction to your brand as you would like?
Well, as you guys all know, we all want to know what's new, what's hot, whether it's in fashion, beauty, or entertainment. So whenever you have a video that can kind of focus on those things, if that's your target audience, then when you push that out there, people are more apt to share because they kind of want to be, okay, well, I just saw this video. I'm the first to see this video. Everybody wants to be the first to do everything, right? So they're gonna share it more and introduce you to new audience members. I would definitely say, you know, if you don't necessarily have the tools to go full-fledged video, maybe just focus on doing one video a month and trying to get that out there.
Vashti, do you have any tips? Because I mean, like I said, she does that. I'm gonna keep,
You're funny.
just watch her videos, you'll know exactly what I mean. But look at her hair, it's fabulous. So Vashti will put out her videos on vpj.com, and I mean, it immediately goes crazy viral. Do you have any tips? Are there anything that you're doing that you can give our audience tips to do today, like once they create a video that will attract that audience engagement?
Okay, so the video that she's referring to was actually a video that I posted on Facebook. And I'm sure as small business owners, entrepreneurs, bloggers, we realize that Facebook is shifting to video. Like video content is what they are given preference in the feed. Their algorithm is kind of skewed towards video. And so what I would do, that same video I posted it's actually a video that I posted on my YouTube channel. But for me, one of the ways that I leverage video on Facebook is that I'll post a clip of that video, and that's exactly what I did. I posted a clip of the video, of the full video on Facebook, and then I'll direct people to my blog where the full video is embedded. One of the things that I do, I try to take out a piece, like when I post a snippet, it kind of gives you a snapshot of what the entire video is about, but it also draws your interest where you want to see more, like I want to see the rest of this video. So that's what I do. And then of course, tagging a brand that's listed in the video or that I talked about in the video, that helps. And then I tagged the stylist, and then she shared it, and then her friend shared it, and I, shared it on my page, and so it just kind of went viral like that. And so within, as you said, like overnight, I got up and it was like 21,000 views on Facebook. And so some of those people will transfer over to my blog, and so that's blog traffic for me. And then I'll also embed that video in a post telling a story about that video. And so it kind of works like that. So that's how I leverage video content to increase my traffic and to increase my reach and my audience. And so to piggyback on what Vanna said, I know a lot of bloggers, when I talk to them, or just business owners, like they're afraid to do video, or they are, video is kind of intimidating. But for me, video has really been something that I've been able to use to elevate my brand. I've gotten a lot of opportunities to do things because I'm comfortable on video. Last year, I got to interview Chrisette Michelle and Marvin Sapp at Essence Fest because they were looking for someone to do interviews, and a lot of people, they're like, oh no, I'm kind of scared, but I was like, okay, I'll do it, and it was a paid opportunity. And so video is really a great way to connect with your audience, even as a small business owner. Now that's Facebook Live. I tell my clients, take advantage to use Facebook Live to just kind of connect, say, hi, my name is XYZ, and this is my brand, and this is why I created it, and you will be surprised how, people, they love that. They love seeing you. They love seeing the person behind the brand. And so if you're not comfortable on like making a whole YouTube video, try doing, snippets on Instagram, or try making small Facebook videos. And that's definitely a good way to connect and kind of put your brand out there to kind of stand out above all the noise. Because as I said, Facebook, their algorithm is kind of skewed towards video content. And I'm not sure if you saw their, they had a news conference earlier this week with the F8, and everything is just like all video driven. So yeah.
So pretty much, if you're not doing video now,
You
as soon
should.
as you step outside those doors,
Yeah,
we're gonna
you
want to
should.
get tagged in all your new videos. You can
Yes.
start right here at Dallas Startup Week,
Yeah.
hashtag DSW16.
Video is definitely the new black. Like, it's not new, but in terms of media and blogging and vlogging, it's something that you really need to take advantage of, or at least incorporate into your strategy.
And you hit on something very important. So yesterday and the day before, we've really been hammering home about how everybody has a personal brand, and there's something very unique about each and every one of you that you have to communicate through your brand. So, and lately, everybody wants to know that your brand has a pulse. That's just a living, breathing thing, and that it can emotionally connect with your audience. So doing things such as videos so that they can see who's behind the brand. So if you're a designer, they want to see you, or maybe see your fingers at work, stitching the garments, those things. That will, or behind the scenes, people are obsessed with photo shoots. So
And
going
if
behind the
people-
scenes.
If people like you, they're going to support your brand.
Exactly, no
And so
matter what
that's,
you do.
that's what you want to build
That's what I
across.
thought.
Build a relationship. Look at it as building a relationship
Yes.
with your followers.
Yes.
And get people to be interested and intrigued in who you are. In return, that will build your brand up.
Definitely.
So I'm just gonna throw this out to any of you guys. If somebody's just starting out, you said Facebook Live. So if maybe they're a little bit intimidated by YouTube, should they be doing Periscope, Facebook Live, Snapchat? What's a good way to get started?
Yeah, Snapchat is probably a good
Snapchat.
way. Yeah, I was about to say, because
Yes.
Snapchat is really kind of informal and kind of just, relaxed, and so you don't need to be all done up. You can just, just be talking. And then the good thing about Snapchat, you can save those snaps. What I do, I would post a snippet on Facebook, and so that's a video. So you've got one video, and you can repurpose it for a different platform. You can post it on Instagram, you can post it on Facebook, and so it's that same video, just a casual. Hey, my name is XYZ. Today I'm at Dallas Startup Week representing my brand, and we do T-shirts, and this is the T-shirt I'm wearing today. And you post that video, and people are like, oh hey, I never got to see you. I didn't realize that you were the person who made those. Where can I find it? And it helps to build that kind of rapport.
I would also say it depends on when you do post on social media where you get your most engagement from. So don't go to Snapchat if you have 2 followers.
Right, that's
Like,
right, right.
it's not going to do anything for you. So if you have more interaction on Facebook, do a quick snap on Facebook. You can create a 20-second video. You can pretty much time yourself. Hey guys, hey, I'm doing this today. We're here at the shirt with the shirts, or I'm wearing blah, blah, blah. Make it short and snappy.
Yeah.
But if you do not have interaction on your other social medias, do not go there trying to engage.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not going to work.
Yeah.
But what about doing some sort of pre-promotion so that you can, what are some suggestions for cross-engagement across those platforms? Because eventually they're gonna have to get those followers to come over. Any
And that's-
suggestions?
Yeah, tell them to go. Hey
Yeah.
guys, add me
Create a
on
meme.
Snapchat.
Yeah.
Yes, create a meme, which Canva, if you guys are not familiar, that is a great tool to use to create your own memes. CANVA.com. Canva. Create your own memes and anything like that. But yeah, just tell people, hey, go follow me on Snapchat. Go follow me on Periscope. They'll do it if they're interested
Yes.
in
Yeah.
what you're providing.
Yes.
For me, I will promote any new YouTube videos on Snapchat.
Right.
Because they already like video.
Yeah.
So they'll easily go watch. Twitter, that can kind of work sometimes.
Yeah,
Instagram.
sometimes. Yeah.
Instagram videos, those work. The little snippets
Yeah.
showing kind of like the overall,
Yes.
subject of the video. That works. People will watch from that. Facebook, it depends.
It depends, yeah.
You can get some conversion, sometimes not.
Facebook, what really works well on Facebook is uploading the video directly to Facebook, because Facebook
Yeah.
likes something that's native to Facebook. They don't necessarily. So if I post, that's one of the reasons why I've started doing, when I post a video on YouTube, I'll create a clip and post it on Facebook, and I upload it directly to Facebook.
Right.
Because a few years ago, I could have just posted the link to my YouTube video on Facebook, and people would have seen it. Now they don't even see it at all. Like, Facebook doesn't even show that to them. So that's one of the ways that I leverage, Facebook video to get people to watch my YouTube videos, because they know I make videos, but sometimes they just don't see it because it's hidden in the feed. So, but to piggyback on what they said, wherever your audience is, just try to connect with them there. And for example, this morning I did a quick snap saying that I was at Dallas Startup Week, and then I posted it on Facebook, and I left and I said, oh, this is my Snapchat name. So of course people will follow. The people who are interested in Snapchat, there's a certain demographic, or people who are interested, they'll be like, oh, I didn't realize she was on Snapchat, let me go over there and see what's happening. So you can always cross promote and just kind of let people know what you're doing. But as Vanna said, if they like you, if they like you as a person and they connect with you, no matter what you do, they will there are some people who will just be interested and they'll follow you then.
So, Vanna, I'm going to pose this question to you. Yes, ma'am. And then Jaleesa. So you're an entertainment blogger. You don't necessarily do some of the videos yourself. You have like a whole entourage. So if there's people that don't want to go out and take the time and get the equipment, or what's some easier ways to create that engaging video content from your experience?
Well, let me start off with this entourage. It took years to build that entourage, so I just didn't step into that. But I will say, you have your phone all the time. That's a great method to just start with video content. Invest in a great phone, whether it's a backup phone or a little cheap phone from Cricket or Metro that has great video or camera pixels. Invest in that. You don't even have to get it cut on. Just use it for, I'm just saying, these are ways to do it. If you're, on a budget and you can't afford to go buy a $500 camera, invest in the cameras that we have and the tools that we use. From there, just always think about building your brand. Now, iPhone is very universal, so you can buy microphones, you can buy different lenses and just attach those. I see people at red carpets all the time with an iPad and their microphone doing interviews. So there are ways that it can be done. Just make sure, don't go broke trying to do it, because you don't have to. And then you're upset because you're not getting the response that you want to from brands or followers, and you spent over $2,000 on video equipment. If you don't know how to work it, don't buy it. Yeah. If you don't think you'll learn how to work it, do not buy it. So I would say,
Said they should tweet that.
start off slow with the tools that you use now, and find out what you can use to build on to those tools that you have now.
Has anybody done iMovie? Have any of you guys used iMovie to try to create video?
That's what I used to edit. Yeah.
Is that very user-friendly? Would you suggest that for some of the videos?
Yeah,
It is.
very much so.
Yeah.
And Jaleesa, I know you started out, you've done some beauty videos and now natural hair. So what was the equipment like back in the day up until now that you're like a superstar?
Well, actually, I don't think I really started doing videos until I got my Canon. And I got the Canon for the blog. So then I was like, well, I have this camera. Let me go ahead and try to do some nice, high-quality videos. From there, I just started getting like little things here and there, because I'm about to graduate in May. So all this time I've been a college student, so money is just not flying everywhere. So I started to get lighting, little bit by little bit,
Where are you guys getting this stuff? Let's be real specific.
For me, Amazon. Yeah. Because I tell people all the time, they'll go out and they'll spend like with these name brands, so they'll go out and get like Canon flashes and all this stuff. And I'm like, you don't have to. You can go to Amazon. They have several other brands that you can get equipment for cheaper.
Reading
several.
is essential, I will
Yeah.
say with that. So when you do go to look at another brand that's not necessarily, you have a Canon camera, and maybe you're looking, like you said, for a Canon light,
Right.
but you're going over to an off-brand, make sure that is compatible with your camera. Do
Yeah.
research on that light.
And there are some listings that will have where you can put like your camera model and it'll tell you whether or not the product is compatible. But yeah.
Do you have any tips, tricks, or equipment that's necessary?
Just good lighting is important, but natural light is free. And if you have a huge window, then you already winning, because you can sit in front of the window and let the natural light come in, and that's like the best light for videos. If not, then ring lights are pretty popular now. When I started off, I didn't have a ring light. I started off with a little camcorder. So if you look at my older videos, I cringe when I see them sometimes, but it's also good because you can see your growth and your progression. And I've had, people who followed me back there, and they're like, look at you, like so people can see that progression. But ring lights are pretty inexpensive. I think you can get one for like, $79, less than $100. There are some that are high end, costing plus $100, but good lighting. A lot of people I know, I have friends who use their iPhones and just good lighting, and you would think that they have an expensive camera. So just start where you are and use what you have, and then what I like to tell people is, once you start making videos and you start making money from that, then you can reinvest. That's what I did. And then you can buy the more expensive camera. But don't let the fact that, I always tell people this, don't let the fact that you don't have the expensive camera or the look that you want, or you want to start off looking like super professional. Of course, you want it to be, good enough quality where people will watch. But if your personality is engaging and people are interested, they will watch. Yeah. As long as it's, because most phones have HD quality videos, so you don't have to necessarily spend on a Canon camera. You can start using what you have, engage with people, and then you grow, and people will see that, and they will see, you're putting out content, it's interesting, they'll watch.
Let's talk about interesting content, because there's a lot of people that just, okay, I'm going to wake up and this is just what I'm going to do for the day. There's no strategy, or there's not really anything strategic that goes along with content creation. So for each one of you guys, how do you figure out what you're going to put out, either whether it's on a weekly basis or a monthly basis? What is your content strategy for video and connecting with your audience?
For me, I'm a little bit all over the place. But for the most part, I kind of work my inbox. So what companies I'm working with, we'll just kind of go back and forth and bounce off of each other and figure out what content would be best to put out there. That's kind of a lot of what I do. And then sometimes if I buy a product and I kind of want to do something cool with it, then I will, and I'll kind of plan that out for the week.
And for me, I'm all over the place as well, but I'm more entertainment, so I always try to focus on what's hot and new in the entertainment world. Because when I go to put up my content, you use those hashtags, and everybody is looking for that particular item, trying to find out what's new and what's fresh on the entertainment scene. I do a lot of events in Dallas as well, so I work off of my inbox too, just depending on. But just make sure that it's relevant to what's kind of going on within the world, basically. So if, like Kobe, he just played his last game last night, right? So a beauty blogger might do her reinvention of Kobe Bryant, like style herself in Lakers gear. Well, that's gonna be relevant and people are gonna look for it. So when people go to hashtag Lakers or Kobe Bryant, she's gonna pull up in the feed, and that's a new way to gain a new audience member. Don't do that 2 weeks from now. It's null and void, so don't create a photo shoot today and 2 weeks later you're like, oh, I don't have any hits.
Really, you have to think of it like kind of like a marketer. Really, kind of have to stay on top of things, stay on top of trends. For me, if there's like a new product coming out, if I really like it, I don't just go out and buy everything, but if there's a new product coming out and I think it's gonna be good, I'll go buy it and I'll go do a video with it. I don't know if you're gonna show our videos.
Yeah, I'm gonna show the video.
Okay. Well, there's a video that I did, and so there were some lipsticks that just came out, and I posted about them, and that's really picked up views, so.
And then for some of the designers that are continually going to the sessions, what we were talking about earlier in the first session and yesterday was really just doing your research. This is what everybody's kind of hitting on. Researching what are those trending topics, because what you're gonna do is take that trending topic and put your own spin on it for your video. If you're a designer, researching what are the hottest events in town. We've got DIFA coming up on May 21st. That is a perfect opportunity to do, if you have formal dresses or any type of dresses, do a video on what to wear to DIFA. I promise you, there are a million housewives in Highland Park right now that are doing a Google search for what am I gonna wear to DIFA because I've got to stand out on the red carpet. But it's having that kind of intel and research that will really get you found on the internet and help you to get the audience that you wanted to go viral. Do you have any other suggestions?
I do a combination of what's trending together with what's in my inbox, you know, if I'm working with a brand and there's something specific that I need to do. And I also try to balance that with just generic content that I know, because my audience, they love beauty and hair, and so no matter what I do, for example, I just got a haircut, and so, you know, they want to scoop, like, where did you get your haircut? How did you style it? Even if I've done a video like that before, so I can always go back to, you know, just posting a video of me styling my hair with a different product, and so I try to balance that. So that's kind of my strategy.
Let's talk two things, time and money. That's what every entrepreneur wants to know, so let's talk time. If somebody's gonna implement this into their strategy as far as being a small business owner or an entrepreneur, how much time is this taking you guys? Because you've built an incredible platform, obviously the brand partnerships, sponsorships, the money we hope is amazing, but let's get down to, you know, dollars and cents in your time. How much time is this taking you guys? And how consistent do you have to be? So it's a double loaded question.
It just kind of depends. For me, I try to post once a week, but since I'm in college, that doesn't always happen. But just being consistent is important. How much time does it take? Sometimes it can take me about 8 hours to do one video. That's kind of like the average amount of time to do one video, because you have to get ready for the video, film the video, and sometimes you'll mess up, so you have to go back and refilm things.
How do you do that if you have a full face of makeup? You gotta take it all off and start all over again? I'm just curious.
I've done that before.
What about with the winged eyeliners?
Just take like the winged eyeliner off and then start over. But I rarely mess up on that. So,
she just told me.
So it takes a lot of time to do videos, and then you have to edit the video down. And that takes time. And then sometimes if you're corresponding with the brand, they have guidelines, things that you kind of have to think about. They'll look at it and be like, we don't like this, so you have to go back and re-edit, re-export, and then upload. Yeah. It's a lot of time.
Roughly, in my line of work, because I am more entertainment, so I'm on the red carpets, I'm doing strict interviews, I don't get to do a lot of do-overs, which sometimes I wish I could. But for me to get my content out, I'm looking at between 2 to 4 weeks, honestly. And that's with editing it, making sure that, like you said, the brand that you're working with is okay with it. Sometimes they don't get back to you within that same day, you know, so you're just kind of at a standstill. And then you have to wait until the relevant topic kind of comes up to push that content out again. You kind of miss your window. If you know, in your mind, I would say as far as editing is concerned, you have to determine whether it is a lifestyle, beauty, or hair content, something that you're filming yourself, or whether it's something that you're kind of gonna be out and about filming. That takes a little more time. People are more willing to work with you on that. But for me, it's roughly between 2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah. For me, it takes around maybe 6 to 8 hours, especially if I'm doing a hair video, because you gotta, if I'm styling and I'm starting from the beginning, gotta wash my hair, you know, record that part. Go back to the styling part once my hair is dry. Then I gotta do the takedown. Then I gotta put all these pieces together. I gotta take pictures outside. You know, my husband is my photographer. Sometimes, you know, I have to coordinate with his schedule. When there's a good light, I gotta go outside, take pictures. You gotta edit. And so it takes sometimes 6 to 8 hours. But one tip that I can leave, especially if you're a small business owner and you're not doing something that's necessarily beauty, you can batch your videos. A lot of beauty bloggers do that. You can batch your videos, and so if you want to, let's say you're a small business owner and you're making videos about social media marketing or something, you can batch your videos and say this week you're talking about video marketing, and the next week you're talking about content, and the next week you're talking about Snapchat. And so you can film all of those videos in one sitting. A lot of times people will, change their shirt or change their lipstick or the direction of their hair or something. And so that saves time. And so you have a lot of content already there, and so you can edit it and then push it out at intervals. And so even as somebody who does beauty videos and other types of videos, I tend to batch my videos, or sometimes I know there are lots of bloggers like Jaleesa, she might be doing fashion and hair, and so she can possibly do 2 videos in one, showing the hair, and then there's another video where she focuses on the outfit. So I think just trying to be productive with your time, and batching is definitely one of the ways that you can do that, because it is something that is labor intensive. And but videos, I've found in my experience, they definitely, it's worth it because it pays more. For example, that campaign that I did with Head and Shoulders, right? There are other people who, there was a blog component of that campaign, and there were 3 of us, I think, that got to do the video campaign. And literally, the video campaign was paid 10 times more than the written portion. So video is the new black.
Let's talk a little bit before we open it up for additional questions. We had a ton of content for you guys, but let's talk about getting found. One of the things that gets hammered over and over and over again is SEO, SEO, SEO. So obviously you're not creating a video and then just uploading it, titling it, whatever you want, My Natural Hair Process or whatever. Obviously you're being very strategic about how to reach your audience. So Jaleesa, I'll start with you.
I go to school for SEO.
Well, can't everybody go to school for SEO? So we need some bottom line basics.
So there are a lot of tools that you can use, and a lot of free tools. Google has some. You can kind of go in and look and see which keywords are more popular. I know I've gone in one time and I've searched like ColourPop, that's a lipstick and makeup brand, versus NYX, which is another makeup brand. NYX is more popular. So if I do a NYX video, that one's probably gonna get more views, whereas ColourPop won't. More views still, it'll get a lot, but probably not as many as NYX. Really just going in and tagging everything. Like if you have a blog, photos need to be tagged too.
Yes.
That's very important.
Yes.
Your blog content needs to be tagged. YouTube, if you're doing videos, it's almost like blogging, you use tags, and so that really helps. Go look and see what other videos kind of in that area are popular. See what their titles look like. Titles are also very important. God, I can go on for hours.
Vanna or Vashti?
One of the things is that YouTube is a search engine, right? So we know that YouTube is owned by Google, and they actually rank video content higher than written content. And so a lot of times, like SEO is like super important, as Jaleesa says. And for me, a lot of the times I will go by, just think of what people will search for. For example, if I'm doing a twist out, which is a popular natural hairstyle, a lot of people are searching for how to do a twist out. Now that's popular, but sometimes people want to dig deeper. They want to know, how do I get a super defined twist out? So a lot of times, like to make your video stand out or kind of pop out more, of course there is a lot more that goes into it, because the thumbnail also helps to attract people, but you can name your video, for example, how to get the best, most defined twist out ever. And so those types of content, those types of titles definitely help to grab people's attention, together with the thumbnail and all of that. So it's a combination of things. But as Jaleesa said, whether you're doing written or blog content, written content or video content, SEO is important. Making sure that your pictures, when you upload them, they're not just saying image 12345.jpg, that you name the video, you name the picture, you rename the picture so that it says how to do a twist out on type 4 hair, or whatever it is, like how to apply ColourPop's new lipsticks. And so when people search that, because images also show up in the search, and so when people search that, it will pop up, and if they don't find your video, if they may not have found your video in the search, but when they search your images, you'll pop up in there, and then they might be intrigued and they'll click on it, and it will take them back to that video or that post. So SEO is definitely important. You can't just name it any all willy-nilly, or something that only means something to you. It has to be relevant to what people are searching for.
Right. And guys, it's not, really don't make it, rocket science.
Yeah.
Just think about you as a consumer.
Yes. What do you search for?
What would you search for? What would make you click on a picture if you want to learn, like she said, how to do a defined twist out?
Yeah.
What would make you click on that picture? A defined twist out or a kinky twist out?
Yeah.
So just think about it as from a consumer standpoint.
Yeah.
What would you do to make you click on this picture, or what needs to be said, or how the picture needs to look to make you click on it? What the title needs to say to gain your interest, and just use that. Play with them. I write about 4 or 5 down before, and I just kind of go from there and say, okay, now let me take this out.
Yeah.
You have to brainstorm.
Yeah. One thing that I'll say is make sure that you don't clickbait, because people, that's really, because sometimes I'm sure you've seen those videos where it says, click here because, and the video is about a dog, I don't know, at the water fountain or something. And then when you click on it, it has nothing to do with that. So just make sure that while you're trying to get your videos and your content to rank, make sure that you're not trying to clickbait. You're not trying to bait people to click, and then the content isn't relevant, because they're gonna get really annoyed and they're not ever gonna click on something of yours again. Even if it's relevant, you've
Right.
already lost them. So make sure that you don't do that.
And then you can also change your tags, and you can change your titles. So don't feel like if you do your titles and tags in November, then once March comes around, you can't change it.
you can change
If you feel that it's not successful, you can always change and add things, and then it might become successful. So, yeah.
And then I'll just add one last thing about being really strategic about monitoring what your audience is actually clicking on. So being business owners, we're busy, but if you have analytics installed on your website, figure out, if I post this on a Monday and I'm doing a natural hair video, how many people or how many likes or how many follows am I getting on that versus if I post something similar on a Friday. And there's an amazing calendar out there called the Epic Blog Calendar that will help you track your social media likes and your analytics month by month by month, so that you're able to figure out, do I need to post this video on a Tuesday versus a Friday? Or do they like this content? Because I know I don't really post on the weekends because my readers they don't like to read on the weekends because they're with their families.
Mine are different. They like weekends.
But I'll just add that. But I want to open it up. We have less than 10 minutes left. Ask any questions. Our experts are ready. I'm going to go with you, and then we'll go with your question. She hates everything.
Okay. What are you doing?
Yeah,
What's your audience? Definitely something with video, probably.
Yeah, video
Yeah,
for
something
sure.
with video.
Yeah.
Probably Instagram, a combination of
I would say Snapchat. Start
and
there first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
video.
Start on Snap first. Get snappy.
Yeah.
And just think of different ways that you want your video to come across. So
Yeah.
maybe it's just a day of you're focusing on footwork. You know what I mean? Then the next day do a costume or something like that. But if you want your brand to grow and build,
Video.
you have to be social.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so that's easy for you. Yeah.
Okay, build on there, and then you can start building Instagram, because Instagram is very visual, and so if you take pictures of your poses, and people will, I think they will relate to that.
Use your tags.
Yeah.
Hey, your question?
Okay, so with your blogging is new to me, and I'm curious if you're using it to build your brand or like a service, consulting service or something you want to offer. Is there a fine line between a video blog versus an advertisement to drive people to your site? What's the risk there? Is there a cost if you're an advertisement versus just a video blog?
I would say if you don't have an audience already that's already following you and what you provide, don't make your video like a commercial or an advertisement. Make it very natural. You know what I mean? Maybe follow one of your clients from step A to step B to step C.
Like a case study?
Yeah, like a case study. And then just tell people this is what you can provide. because you're going to lose people from I mean, I hate advertising. When I'm on YouTube, I'm skipping as soon as that 5 seconds is up. Skip.
Is there something
you get paid.
educational that you could provide, like top 3 tips for this? Because you see all the
Yeah.
business coaches and those people that do that, so they're providing valuable content,
yes.
but they're not really upselling you into their services until they've gotten your trust.
Yes. So provide value. Just kind of tell people how to do. What do you do? Okay, so what you can do is provide, tips, write blog posts about, or make videos about. I think a lot of people like Periscope for just kind of giving valuable content, and so you can get on there and talk about your top 5 tips for, leaders, top 5 qualities of effective leaders or something like that. And people who are interested in that, they will, start watching your videos, and they get to see you, how you deliver. And then after a while, once you deliver, one of the things I learned is like you give, get, right? So you give content, and then naturally, if people are interested and they like your style, they're gonna wanna work with you. And of course, you can interject, talk about your services, but you don't wanna come across pluggy all the time. So just giving valuable content is just a way to stand out.
And I'll
And
plug. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say another way for you to build your audience if you are going into branding and coaching, you want a good emails list.
Yes.
Because for me, I come across some coaches that I'm like, okay, let me see what she's talking about. And I subscribe. And in my downtime, I will read. So you definitely want to kind of gain your email list and build that up. That's going to be very vital for you, your business.
Any other questions? Yes.
I didn't hear this number 2.
Comment on a GoPro.
I've never used
Never
GoPro.
used a GoPro.
I think it depends on what you're doing.
Yeah.
What are you doing, if you don't mind my asking?
Like a behind the scenes kind of thing?
I think Periscope is
Yeah.
amazing for that.
Yeah.
People are so just obsessed with fashion, front row, behind the scenes. I think you can really hit home with Periscope. And then what I do is I'll tell people, go follow me over on this, kind of like what Vashti was doing for the remaining part. So you lock them in and then tease them and then lead them to your other platform where you really want them to go, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, or whatever else.
Ultimately, it should be your website.
Yeah. But in terms of, she asked about a microphone.
Yeah.
For me, I don't have an external microphone because I use a Canon T5i, and the audio on it is pretty good. I can't really give any recommendations for microphone. I know some people there's a Rode.
Rode,
like
yeah.
a Rode microphone that I see a lot of. If you go on YouTube and you Google, you look on YouTube, you search for microphones for
Whatever
cameras,
device you're using.
whatever you're looking
Yeah.
for. There are going to be lots of tutorials and lots of videos giving you suggestions. There are lots of people who make videos just
right,
reviewing different types of equipment. So that should be very helpful.
And
for
that
you.
Rode mic is, you can find it at Best Buy, like if you just really need it and you don't want to order
And then
it.
you can go in there and
Best
let them, have it tested out, and they can give you some recommendations as well.
Rode.
RODE. Yeah.
And then one last question.
What about the time limit on your video? I'm a designer, so I've used Periscope before to show something new I'm doing. But when you talk about putting in a Periscope and then going somewhere else, we generally don't have long periods, but then what's the sweet spot for holding people and giving them enough?
I think, but for me, even when I make videos on YouTube, I try to make them less than 5 to 7 minutes, because people's attention spans there's a lot of things to keep their attention, that grab their attention, so you gotta kind of give them what they're looking for really fast. And so I tend to do between 3 to 5 to not more than 7 minutes. So if you can get it, deliver what you want to deliver without dragging it on, edit out the parts that are not necessary. People will know, if I watch this video, because a lot of times what happens is that people will decide if they want to look at a video by looking at how long it is. I do that. It's like, okay, I don't have 10 minutes. Yeah, so try to make it as short and as to the point as possible, and so they'll know, okay, when I click on one of her videos, this is going to be value packed. I'm going to get to see what I need and get out, and then without having to watch like a lull or something that could have been edited out.
My advice to you, because fashion is a very saturated market, so when you do begin to get into videos, you need to think from a perspective of how can I film this video differently where it's going to intrigue someone.
Right.
So whether you start off with just fabric hitting the table,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or more so of a how-to tip type of thing. Now, as far as the length, you will kind of probably have to play with your audience a little more on it. So just maybe do a 3-minute, do a 5-minute, do a 10-minute, and see where you gain most of your viewership from, and go based on that.
Well, I'd like to thank our panelists. Can we give them a hand? I hope you guys learned quite a bit. I know that I did. Thank you, ladies. Continue to see all the free sessions today here at Dallas Startup Week. Today at 4:15 in the same room, we're gonna have Tiza Macias with Factory Glam, and she's gonna teach everybody how to create your own cosmetics line if that's another avenue of your business, that if you ever want to create your own lipstick or have your own foundation. She has a manufacturing company right here in Dallas, and she's gonna talk about how you can do that yourself and make money, because that's what we wanna do at the end of the day.
And follow me on social media at Vanna Collins.
And you can find me at VPJ, that's VEEPEEJAY.
And you can find me at Jaleesa Sharice, JALEESA CHARISSE.
And I'm at the
Bye,
Leah
y'all.
Frazier. Bye, y'all.
Thank you.